Good evening. Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network. This is our second live broadcast of the day. If you caught us earlier, it was all about the one big beautiful bill turning into the one big beautiful law. So we'll go to some of President Trump's speech from earlier today. If you missed it, you can always replay it as well if you'd like. As we're looking live there in Washington, D.C., you see the White House, beautiful kind of sunset tonight. And then our vantage point from, I believe that the camera person is inside the Washington Monument, getting video from outside of that, down there to the Lincoln Memorial, and there are a number of people out there. So getting ready to see this 4th of July firework display, this spectacular moment in history as President Trump, the 45th president, the 47th president. We know he won the 46th, but we know what happened there. But regardless, we know this, that we've got the right person in office now, and we want to see win after win after win. There's nothing wrong with being undefeated. You just have to keep winning and not get lazy with that. And we don't see any of that, of course, in President Trump. I don't think there's 1 ounce of laziness in President Trump with all of the work that he does. Now, the camera guy on the top right, of course, just looking around a little bit. But when the fireworks happen, which is going to be in about an hour or so, we're going to see President Trump. We're going to see the First Lady, Melania Trump. And then we're going to see these awesome fireworks from right outside of the White House, where I'm sure that the two will be watching from maybe the balcony, just like President Trump spoke from the balcony there for the big, beautiful bill speech. And then he walked down the steps and then signed the bill. And now it is a law. So it's the big, beautiful law. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Happy 4th of July to everyone watching. Happy 249th Independence Day to everyone watching all across the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm Matthew Alvarez. We're going to have a fun night tonight as it's July 4th, and it's a Friday, so it's a happy July 4th Friday. Instead of just happy Friday, it's happy July 4th Friday. Kind of cool. And we're going to go to a few clips from earlier today as well when it comes to the president, when he shared that speech with the American people. We'll go to that. Then we'll go to that bill signing just to watch it once again. And there are a few other great patriotic videos that we've seen posted by whether it's Carolyn Levitt or Dan Scavino Jr. or the president himself and the team there. So we'll go to that. And then we'll be covering a lot of things as we go over this next hour or so. Hopefully it's right at 9 o'clock. We'll be seeing the fireworks maybe a few minutes early. But wherever you're watching tonight, thank you so much for streaming with us. And we look forward to viewing the fireworks with you and really to remember Independence Day. I remember when I was younger in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm from around that area there. And we would go to the Susquehanna River and watch the fireworks there in Harrisburg, PA, and listening to all the patriotic songs be played on the local radio station that everybody had it tuned to that. And it was just great. You know, it's just what an American thing to do is just to see fireworks live, or in this case, we'll be watching it live from Washington, D.C. And you think about all the songs that are played, mostly, you know, country songs, USA type of patriotic songs, but of course, all sorts of other older patriotic songs, songs that you'd hear maybe from the Marine Band when we saw President Trump earlier today. So it's going to be a fun event. Glad you're with us. Thanks again for streaming in. And those of you that watched the big, beautiful bill signing, quite the numbers of people watching tonight throughout the country. And just like last night with the Iowa rally for that America 250 kickoff. So looking forward to more of the same and plus more. Why not? Let's continue to grow here at the network with our viewership and just our reach when it comes to the American way. And that's what it's all about. And so glad you're with us again here on Right Side. So let's do this. Why don't we look at a portion of President Trump's speech from earlier today. And this is prior to him signing the big, beautiful bill into law. So what we'll do is we'll go to a portion of the speech, and then we'll go to the video after that. We'll throw to that as well, the big, beautiful bill signed into law. So before we go to the portion of the speech right now, I just want to let you know that if you missed any of this speech that was about 20 or so minutes long, you can watch it on replay on our most recent live stream about the big, beautiful bill. So you can watch that entire speech if you'd like. Also, we always usually we post the speech by itself outside of the whole live replay. So you have your choice there of what you'd like to watch. If you do watch the live replay of the big, beautiful bill, there are a ton of social media videos that we threw to that were pretty fun and great and patriotic. So always love that kind of stuff here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. All right, let's go to President Trump from just about, a couple hours ago when he was speaking outside of the White House at the balcony there, on the balcony, to the military family picnic that was happening down below. And I believe that's why he was taking a long time there, shaking the hands of we the people and everyday Americans, but also our military families. And it was great to see that. So what you're looking at live on the right side of your screen, of course, the White House in the bottom right. Up top that's the vantage point that we're going to get when the fireworks display is started. So looking forward to all of that. That's the National Mall there, and getting a slow zoom in at one of the greatest memorials of all time. Right next to the Jefferson Memorial is the Abraham Lincoln Memorial. What a night. It's a great time to be alive, and also covering this great president. Speaking of this great president, let's go to a portion of that speech from just a few hours ago.
This is the most popular bill ever signed. And it includes the largest tax cut in American history, the largest spending cut, $1.7 trillion, and yet you won't even notice it. Just waste, fraud, and abuse in American history. So you have the biggest tax cut, the biggest spending cut, the largest border security investment in American history. We want to have strong borders. And the only thing is we want to have great elections, too. You need strong borders and elections. And my people have promised me that we're going to go into elections and we're going to make sure they're not rigged, that they're not sullied. We're going to make sure that the elections are going to be fair. You need two things. You need strong borders and you need fair elections.
That is so true. Fair and secure elections and strong borders. And we know that President Trump, since day one, said, you know what, let's seal this border, because that is one of the main campaign promises. He declared the southern border a national emergency. The military was sent there and is still there. And then on top of that, we know that after this big, beautiful law has now been signed into law, we're going to watch that here in just a second. We know that one of the other legislative acts that will be happening, according to the president, is all about securing our elections. It's as simple as this: free and fair elections. It would be great not to have a motto that says too big to rig. It would be wonderful to have it like the country of Poland when they had a recent a runoff election there for their presidential pick, a great conservative that is a supporter of President Trump. President Trump is a supporter of that leader. And in that one day of elections, it was 21 million people voted in the election in Poland. And it took about 8 hours to get a result. There was voter ID and it was paper ballots. And that's the law in Poland. So that's some of the things that we're looking at here in our country to make that a law. So it would be great to see that happen, as we're getting some vantage points there live right now. Of course, the stable shot right there on the White House, and then the other one on the top right, that's where the fireworks will be, the display will be happening. So we'll be able to have a lot of vantage points. And of course, we'll see President Trump and the First Lady watching the fireworks. And this kind of reminds me of, I believe it's Sterling, Virginia, where President Trump has his Trump National Golf Club. And it was maybe on inauguration night, or actually maybe the night before inauguration, he had an event that was there, and it was awesome. It was some great singing and performing by Christopher Macchio, singing awesome songs, and then it was the fireworks that the president and the first lady watched. I remember us covering that here on January 19th, and of course on January 20th, man, a great speech there at the U.S. Capitol building. President Trump, during that speech, saying a lot of amazing things. I'm going to pull that up real quick here. He said, "In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success." The president said on January 20th that we will not forget our country, we will not forget our Constitution, and we will not forget our God. President Donald J. Trump on January 20th, 2025. So millions of people were watching Right Side Broadcasting Network that night. I believe it was more than 6 million on all of our social platforms. And you combine that with all these other events and everything, it's a lot of people that are saying, they're just fed up with the mainstream media, and they want real deal people. They want people that resonate with them, and you want people that tell it like it is. And that's what we really like to do here. If you saw Robert McNeely yesterday and Christina Loren, they told it like it was, and it is. And it was great to hear their commentary and then interview We the People. And that's what we do here. We take that time to listen to We the People. The government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from this land. The great words from Abraham Lincoln during the Gettysburg Address. And speaking of Abraham Lincoln, the memorial, you'll see it maybe when the cameraman on the top right will zoom in there and see the Lincoln Memorial. A lot of people gathered there, looking forward to seeing this huge firework display in Washington, D.C. on this 249th Independence Day. So glad you're with us. Looking forward to watching with you. And that's what we'll be doing once we see the President and the First Lady, and also the fireworks as the sun is going down there on the East Coast. Those of you watching in the Central Time Zone, Mountain, and Pacific, thanks so much for streaming and watching us live right now, or possibly you might be watching this at a different time on replay, but thank you again for doing that. All right, let's go to about a couple hours ago, where President Trump signed the big, beautiful bill and turned it into the big, beautiful law. Let's take a look.
President, this is the gavel we use to enact the big, beautiful bill, and I want you to have that for your
Are we ready? Are we ready? Yeah. Have a good time. Hi, Margie. There you go. 28 points. That's a lot of points. Good job. Absolutely. And we have some more. We'll give you some more. Our great First Lady. Come here. Oh, yeah. You would have worked me in. Scott. Congratulations. I'll let you know the guy. I don't know if she did that. Honey, now you got to go in. Get the gavel.
You're very trusting.
Give that guy a raise. Give that guy a raise.
Thank you very much, everybody. And I want to thank the people up here. They're unbelievable people. Mary, hi, Mary. How's Scott doing? Good job? Scott, how's the economy? Okay?
Wonderful.
It's going to get better.
From South Carolina.
It's been amazing. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good time. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th.
I'm not so sure that's a good idea. You got a good doctor.
It weighs about 20 pounds. That's a big bill.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Come, Mr. President.
Okay, thumbs up.
Great to see the leader of the free world there signing the big, beautiful bill into law. You know, we get used to saying big, beautiful bill. We've probably said those three words, big, beautiful bill, probably 300 times in the past couple weeks or maybe couple months, but now it's the big, beautiful law. It is now official. It is the law. And we'll dive into some of those details in just a minute as it's 8:15 here, Friday, July 4th. Again, if you're just joining us, happy 249th Independence Day. Looking forward to going to President Trump and the First Lady Melania Trump as they watch the July 4th firework display in Washington, D.C. Looks like a beautiful night for fireworks there, and I'm glad you're here with us as we'll watch together and enjoy this moment as we are exactly 365 days away from the America 250, the 250th anniversary for our country. In the meantime, let's go to Colonial Metals Group. So it's freegoldguide.com/RSBN gets you that free info kit on gold, silver, precious metals, all to back up your IRA, 401k with gold. You can use it with 100% tax-free as well. So you get that free info kit going to that website, but also you can use the QR code. It'll take you right to freegoldguide.com/RSBN. Colonial Metals Group, a wonderful sponsor at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Let's also go to All Family Pharmacy as we have a little bit of breaking news here at Right Side, because what we're looking at is All Family Pharmacy, known for standing up for medical freedom. They actually just launched their biggest sale of the year. So now through July 13th, it's buy one, get one free on Ivermectin, Mebendazole, and hydroxychloroquine. So that's the 200 milligram amount there. That means whatever you order, they'll double it. So 30 capsules equals 60, 90 capsules becomes 180. You don't need insurance. There's no red tape. You get a doctor's prescription included. While big chains, of course, may shut you out, All Family Pharmacy steps up, giving patriots just like you the power to choose. So go to allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. You can act now and protect your health. The buy one, get one free ends July 13th. As it's 8:17 Eastern Time. Again, thanks so much for streaming in with us. We've got the live shot from the top right corner. That's the live vantage point of the area there in Washington, D.C. The main focus will be with the Lincoln Memorial and then also the fireworks when that kicks off, as you see the sun going down there in our nation's capital. And then, of course, you see the White House looking like a beautiful night on this Friday, July 4th. Let's also go to another sponsor in just a minute. We'll be talking about Chef IQ in just a minute. But before we go to that, the Department of Homeland Security was talking about just all of what they do from coast to coast in this country, posting a video pretty recently. So let's go to that video from the DHS. Pretty cool to see that with the Department of Homeland Security. A lot of great videos out there, including one that I wanted to play again, and my director was laughing. He goes, "This is a pretty cool one. Let's go ahead and do it." So Dan Scavino Jr. always posting some great videos. There was one of someone dressed up as an airman, I guess in the U.S. Air Force, playing the Star Spangled Banner on guitar. And you know what? Since it's Friday and it's July 4th, let's do it. Let's play it again right now. Pretty awesome stuff right there. Beautiful sunset as well in Washington, D.C. right now as we're getting ready to see these fireworks with the leader of the free world and his wife, the First Lady, Melania Trump, who both were on that balcony earlier when the president was delivering a speech about the big, beautiful bill, and then, of course, walked down the steps and then signed the big, beautiful bill to make it the big, beautiful law. We're going to return to one of those sound bites from President Trump in just a minute. Before we do, let's go to the great Carolyn Levitt, who also released a MAGA Minute pretty recently. Take a look.
This was one of the hottest weeks in our nation's history, and I'm not talking temperature. Let's break it all down in this week's MAGA Minute. The jobs numbers for the month of June are in, and the United States added 147,000 jobs, exceeding market expectations for the fourth month in a row. Our unemployment rate fell to 4.1%, again defying expectations. The price of eggs has rapidly declined under President Trump, inspiring Waffle House to announce that it has removed its egg surcharge from the menu. In a huge win for women who play sports, the Department of Education secured an agreement with the University of Pennsylvania to remove men from women's sports, and it corrects the record in favor of sanity. President Trump continues to deliver trade deals. He announced a trade deal with Vietnam, which will give the U.S. total access to their markets for the first time ever. The president also visited Alligator Alcatraz in Florida, reaffirming our commitment to law and order in our country. And he visited the great state of Iowa to kick off a series of celebrations across the country to celebrate next year's 250th birthday of the United States. And finally, Congress worked hard to deliver the one big beautiful bill to President Trump's desk. This bill means no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and a big beautiful tax cut for everyone. It's on the way. And for those of you celebrating our nation's birthday, the cost of a 4th of July cookout for 10 people skyrocketed by more than 20% under Joe Biden, but that cost has dropped under President Trump. This 4th of July, we are celebrating not only the birth of our great nation, but the birth of a golden age of economic prosperity for you and your family, and the best is yet to come. We'll see you for next week's MAGA Minute. Happy Independence Day.
All right, so from Carolyn Levitt there, and then on top of that, when you go to the press briefings that you watch here on Right Side, we have that from the start to the finish, no interruptions there, of course, and Carolyn Levitt, of course, a superstar. I mean, President Trump said it the other day in all caps on a Truth Social post, and it's just the fact. And, you know, I think that's encouraged is people that are doing great things in the country or working on doing something great or working on going to a new level. I believe especially for those of us on the right side of history, and I'm not talking about those that are just like on TV or something or really famous or none of that stuff. I'm just talking about whatever works to encourage the next person to say, you know what, let's keep going because we're on the same team here. We want to win, we want to vote, we want to pray, we want to work hard, and we want this country to be fully saved. We want the MAGA forever, as I saw that sign from the U.S. Army 250 celebration. Somebody held up a sign, MAGA forever, and MAGA, of course, Make America Great Again, means so much. It means law and order, it means safety, it means peace, it means freedom, it means so many details. And what person in the free world doesn't want that? Whether you're from the United States, whether you're from China, whether you're from Chad in Africa, whether you're from Somalia, whether you're from Bolivia, I'm just rambling off countries here. I mean, most people, regardless of really the backgrounds and all that stuff, just simply want to be free. They want that freedom. So anyway, looking forward to seeing just more wins by this White House, and looking forward to also talking about the next great sponsor here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. This is something that I think I need, to be honest with you. I'm not the greatest cook. My wife does it much better than me, trust me. I can make eggs, French toast-ish, maybe, grilled cheese. But here's the thing about these guys here. There's no better way to celebrate America's freedom than with a backyard barbecue. But who wants to be stuck at the grill, sweating, and still end up with overcooked burgers and raw chicken? That's why I'm fired up about the Chef IQ Sense. No more guesswork, just perfect steaks, chicken, burgers, whatever you're cooking every time. So Chef IQ Sense is actually a cooking sensor that goes right into whatever I'm cooking. So it's like a meat thermometer, only wireless and way smarter. Check this out. All you have to do is enter what I'm cooking into the Chef IQ Sense app. So if it's steaks or chicken, fish, whatever, I choose how I like it cooked. So if it's well done or medium, rare or rare, So Chef IQ Sense actually monitors and predicts precisely when my food will be done. No opening a hot oven or sweating over a barbecue. I can actually relax and enjoy the party. Then Chef IQ Sense sends an alert to my smartphone when everything's cooked the way I like it. No more guessing. Telling you, this is made for me here, and hopefully made for you as well. This is a great product. Chef IQ Sense is like having your own pitmaster in your pocket, and during their 4th of July flash sale, you can get 25% off. Might as well give this a try right here. For those of you that are, trying to still learn your ways and learn the ropes with all of that, or just don't want to be sweating over the grill, this is a good way to do it. Visit chefiq.com and enter the promo code RSBN. So again, that's chefiq.com, promo code RSBN, another awesome sponsor here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. So looking live there, that's 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue on the bottom right. And then, of course, the Lincoln Memorial, as tons of people are packing that area there to witness these fireworks here in 2025 as we celebrate our nation's wonderful situation when it comes to independence. I mean, 249 years ago. I mean, 1776. Can you believe it? We're going to be 250 years young coming up in just 365 days from now. And I was saying this on Truth Social early this morning. I think it was like 6 or 7 in the morning. I woke up and I said, you know what? And I said the following. I said something like, thank God for our founding fathers. Happy 249th Independence Day, America. And it showed a picture of the United States map with 1776 on it and we the people and all that. I mean, it's all still, I don't care how futuristic we all get in the future. It's still going to be about that old school way of 1776. So thank God for our founding fathers, and thank God for President Donald J. Trump, who in the same line of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and others, that name goes right along with those names, because this is an outsider working for freedom. I mean, literally, look at all that he's done and that he has taken on for we the people. It's not just against President Trump. It's just they hate the fact that this guy's such an alpha male, bad, you know what, kicking butt for this country, for the US of A. And the left's like, no, wait a minute. We want weak leaders. We want to control them. We hate this outsider stuff. We want an establishment hack. We want the swamp. Nah, we'll take President Trump. And he has set the bar way high now. I wonder who our next president's going to be. I mean, of course, there's a number of names running through my mind, and yours at home. J.D. Vance and on. There's so many names. But the bar is now set. We don't want any more establishment junk. We don't want any more politician playing politician because maybe they tried something else in life and they failed, and now they're going to try and be a politician. Like that kind of stuff. No, that doesn't work. We have to have successful people, winners. And President Trump's a winner. So is J.D. Vance. So are many others out there. So, yeah, we're looking forward to another great candidate coming up, but that's still 3+ years away. We have a lot of work to get done, even though the big, beautiful bill is now the big, beautiful law, even though we're about to celebrate this 249th Independence Day together here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Let's just pause for a minute. Look how beautiful this is. God's creation right there, beautiful sunset in the nation's capital. The American flag that is in front of the White House now, thanks to President Trump. It's a patriotic day, and it is 8:29 p.m. Eastern Time, so it's the bottom of the hour. So in about 30 minutes or so, we're going to see the president, the leader of the free world, the common sense leader, President Trump, and his wife, Melania Trump, the First Lady, as they watch the fireworks. We'll watch it right there with them. Thanks so much for streaming with us right now on Right Side. Before we continue on, when it comes to a portion of President Trump's speech about the big, beautiful bill, and also for the speech from Iowa just yesterday, I wanted to bring on T.S. Dixon quickly to get his thoughts on just everything that's going on right now. Basically, your reaction, sir. Thanks again for joining us. This is conservative analyst and author T.S. Dixon. Your thoughts just about this big, beautiful law that's now the law for the land here in America.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, this is really a celebration day. It's symbolic. I love the timing of the event that it's happening on. the 250th anniversary birthday of America. But, they did a great job. I've got to hand it to Mike Johnson and the Republicans and the leadership and the Congress, the House, the Senate. They've done a fantastic job here. And Trump should be very proud of this legislation. It's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, today, his speech, which we'll play a little bit more of it, I mean, you can tell this is something that is a massive historic piece of legislation, and it's now law. So we're going to see the returns on it for we the people moving forward. Let's shift over to Independence Day. Of course, it's our 249th Independence Day. Of course, I was saying earlier, thank God for our founding fathers. 1776. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it all happened there on July 4th, 1776, when they got together and ratified the Declaration of Independence to declare our freedom and separation from the British Empire that set off the movement, the liberty movement that would see us become the first free nation and experiment with the Enlightenment and awakening ideas of free Republican government and create the American experiment, which was the first of its kind, that then over 119 other nations would mimic when they saw the success of our movement and of our freedoms over the next 100 years. So it's just an incredible thing. Mankind has been around more than 6,000 years, and for most of that, people suffered under tyrants and rulers and kings and dictators and despots. And only for 250 years now, on this day, have we, as a people, been experiencing freedom. And so it's a really special, wonderful day. It's great to share it with your kids, with your family, and teach them what it means to be free. I know we've all been born and grown up in it our entire lives, so it's hard to imagine that it could be any other way. But it really is in other parts of the world where they're not free. And for most of the history of mankind, there wasn't what we have today with this system of government. So happy birthday, United States of America.
Amen, amen. And you bring up a good point. Like, our country didn't just roll over when we're like, Biden is in office and here's Harris and all that. No, everybody was saying, no, hold on now. This is the U.S. of A., man. You don't do that here, right?
We came close. They were conspiring together to put Trump in prison on false charges. There were a couple assassination attempts, and an assassin's bullet grazed his head and his ear. And along with, nonstop lying and slandering and smearing and defaming by all of these corporate media entities, which are now paying tens of $million lawsuits and settlements. So the whole system of corruption has done everything they can to try and stop this man, stop this presidency, stop these reforms. And he just keeps rolling through. I love that Mike Johnson and Trump and J.D. Vance were just taking a moment to really think about and acknowledge all of the great wins we've had just in the last 2 weeks for peace, for prosperity, for legal battle wins. And so this president, there's never been anything like it. It's unprecedented, this presidency.
Exactly. Historic time for truth and transparency. I have a very simple question. I know the answer from my perspective, but you were saying that they were trying to stop Trump. Everything's about stopping Trump. Why were they trying to stop him?
Well, what happens is, in the West, we've had three great establishment tyrannical movements. The first was the medieval papacy that ruled Europe for 1,000 years, and they finally broke free from that. Then you had the monarchies and empires of Western Europe. The most powerful one was the British Empire. And finally, in 1776, on 4th of July, we separated from them and then fought the Revolutionary War to set ourselves free from that. And now what we have is a multinational banking, corporate, and political power establishment elite in the West that is the top of our hierarchical pyramid that has been growing more and more despotic, tyrannical, and oppressive. And so every time that you have that, where there's an entrenched group, an entrenched establishment, they know that always there comes a deliverer. There always comes a populist movement, an uprising of the people, and then there's a champion for those people. And that champion is the charismatic leader that leads the reform effort to undo and break the power hold of the establishment and bring in a new era of peace, prosperity, and also development, advancement of mankind. After the 1500s, after the Reformation, we saw great advancements, and especially after 1776, we saw tremendous advancements through the industrial revolutions and whatnot. And so these establishments are always on guard looking for these charismatic leaders, these champions that are going to lead the pick up the cause of the people and bring the reforms that will ultimately doom their power hierarchy, right? Their elitism. And so that's why, Trump has become that figure, that champion, and he's strong. He's indomitable. No matter what they throw at him, it just makes him stronger somehow, not weaker. Things that just chop other politicians and other leaders off at the knees, off at the ankles, off at the waist, the neck, and they're done for. Their career's over. They blasted him with anything and everything times 100, and he just comes back stronger, and then they end up getting defeated and destroyed. So it's fantastic to watch. We're watching it happen here again, and that's why they've thrown everything in the kitchen sink at Trump, and nothing has stopped him.
Greatly said there. It made me think of Nigel Farage in the UK. He's leading the Reform UK party, so he's trying to be the same kind of thing where he's saying, make Britain great. So would you agree that Nigel Farage is similar in the sense of what President Trump's doing? And how about Nayib Bukele in El Salvador and Viktor Orban in Hungary and Jair Bolsonaro, the former president of Brazil, and on, right? These are the same types of figureheads, right?
Yeah, and Malay and Argentina, it goes on and on. The whole West, the West, the modern West, is 60 plus countries, depending on how you define it. And all of these countries have been suffering from this international liberal order for far too long, for decades, and they just keep going more and more left and becoming more and more oppressive, and instituting crazier and crazier laws and practices and enforcing these on the people. And enough is enough. So all of these countries, from Italy, Argentina, the Netherlands, America, we're seeing these uprisings, these populist movements, and they're going to just spread because the people have had enough, and it's time for sanity to have its way and for freedom to be the top priority, not leftism, not wokeness.
Exactly. It sounds like common sense to me, and that's why the president won the past 3 elections, technically the 2016 and 2024. We know what happened in 2020, but we, the people, are saying, oh, yeah, enough is enough, because it's the majority of the country. And isn't it interesting, TS, that the mainstream media, because they had, I don't think they have it anymore, because we, the people, have woken up, that big megaphone that's saying all of these things that are so wrong with, MAGA Republicans and President Trump, they're talking about, what, 70% of the nation? Like, they don't have that many people on that side. I get there's some mob wokeness mobs out there with, LA and that kind of thing, but most of them are paid protesters too. So it's a strange thing that we see happening.
Yeah, and I think the numbers will go down even farther now that the beautiful bill has been passed and the border wall is fully funded. There's $6 billion for tech and drone on the border. The Border Patrol is fully funded. ICE is fully funded. So this effort is now going to be on steroids, and he's making a quick work while making exceptions for, essential workers in the farming and hospitality and, boutique business world. And I think that that's a good policy too. I know all of MAGA might not agree with it. But there's another thing about what you just mentioned with the elections. It's not being covered a lot, but Grassley in the Congress, just released a report of evidence that they received about Chinese nationals flying in pre-printed ballots in 2020 and driving them to election stations. And these are also for many that signed affidavits. There's like over 1,000, I think, that signed affidavits. And one was a Pennsylvania truck driver that was driving a load in the middle of the night over the border of his state, and he checked the back to see what the cargo was, and it was all of these finely boxed, pre-printed ballots. And now we have the evidence that was coming from Chinese nationals as an election interference operation that they were doing in coordination with people in our country and our government. And so people that were saying that the 2020 election wasn't stolen, well, the evidence is just beginning to pour out.
Exactly. And then you look at the various documentaries that were done by Dinesh D'Souza and others. And to your point about that specific story there, Got to give credit where credit's due. John Solomon reporting on what you were just talking about. Yeah, and it's interesting. I guarantee you're not going to hear that on the mainstream media, right?
Well, we need to force the issue so they can't help. They're forced to report on it. But the big thing is we need press conferences. And again, I'm going to beat this drum. We need Kash Patel and Pam Bondi on this as a top priority, because if we don't, like Trump said earlier, if we don't have a border and we don't have elections, we don't have a country.
Exactly. 100%. Conservative analyst and author T.S. Dixon, thanks for spending the time with us. Have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July, sir.
Happy 4th. Happy birthday, USA.
Yeah, amen. It's awesome to see that, with people just all around the country and around the nation here, just enjoying the 249th birthday of our nation, Independence Day, right here, right now. And look at the beautiful White House. You can see the red, white, and blue, the colors of the White House there. And Director, can we pull that up a little bit larger just to take a look at the White House there, as it's 8:41 Friday, July 4th. Thanks so much for streaming in. Look at this beautiful White House there, red, white, and blue with the American flag there in the front. There's one in the back. There's one on top of the White House. Looking forward to seeing the President and the First Lady watch the fireworks we're going to watch together. And if you also are interested in knowing more about T.S. Dixon, I believe it's tsdixon.com. Great conservative analyst and author. Dude's just on point. That's why I wanted to bring him on quickly. But 8:41, and there's a lot of people, of course, that we bring on the broadcast during the week when we're covering all sorts of news. It's just wonderful to be able to have the technology like this these days. No longer are the days needed for a multi-million-dollar huge facility and satellite trucks and all sorts of stuff. Trust me, it works even without all that, and it's great to see it. And it's awesome because it's grassroots. RSBN, come on now. Grassroots from 2015, kicking butt all the way to 2025 and beyond. So wonderful to be a part of conservative media here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Looking live at the Lincoln Memorial, just to the left of that picture there, the wonderful Jefferson Memorial. Awesome presidents, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and then the bottom right, President Donald J. Trump. Guys, thanks so much for streaming. We're looking forward to this event there in Washington, D.C. Meantime, let's shift gears. Let's go back to just a quick soundbite from President Trump from earlier when he was speaking about the big, beautiful bill. Right before he signed it, he had a number of things to say about the big, beautiful bill. Let's take a look at that video right now.
We have officially made the Trump tax cuts permanent. That's the largest tax cut in the history of our country, added to substantial other cuts, which is you're going to see like a rocket ship. We're setting all sorts of economic records right now, and that's before this kicks in. After this kicks in, our country is going to be a rocket ship economically, and we've delivered no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
The president earlier today. And if you want to watch that entire speech, you can on various places that you watch Right Side Broadcasting Network. You can actually watch all the replays of RSBN, including that one from earlier. Had quite the viewership on it, of course, because the big, beautiful bill turning into the big, beautiful law. And then tonight, as we see the firework display there in Washington, D.C. And if you're watching this on replay, what a night we're about to have here at 8:43 Eastern Time. Let's go to kalshi.com/RSBN. You can see who President Trump pardon this year. There's other questions on there as well. When you look at this is the markets that are saying with Kalshi that they're the largest U.S. prediction market about what President Trump will do in various situations like this. So will he pardon anybody? Also, there's weather and science, technology, all sorts of items that you can check out. These are real money markets, people trading on what they think will happen. They're often actually more accurate than polls because money's on the line, of course. And Kalshi has more than 1 million users and has facilitated, get this, more than $2 billion worth of trades. I like to check out the app here and there just to see what people are talking about and what they're trading on, whether it's inflation, elections, all sorts of different topics there. It's a great way to sense where the public is leaning beyond the headlines or the vibes. So if you want to try it out, Kalshi's actually giving $10 to anyone who signs up using the RSBN link there, and with trades of $100. So it's Kalshi.com/RSBN. And then also you can get the Kalshi app if you'd like. Let's shift over now to one more sponsor. It is angelpaste.com, headquartered in Spring, Texas. And of course, there's the Miracle Cream there, and there's a lot of other products as well. So all you have to do is go to angelpaste.com and check out all of the products if you'd like. And if you'd like to purchase a number of them, always remember, use that RSBN promo code. We'll get you a percentage off. So hiring military veterans there at angelpaste.com. Great to see that at 8:45, Friday, July 4th. Let's go to Iowa from just yesterday. President Trump had plenty to say during that great speech. Great coverage there with Robert McNeely and Christina Lorenz. So it's America 250, right? So yesterday was the kickoff to the 250th birthday of our country. So today we're exactly 365 days away, of course, from that kickoff on July 4th, 2026. But 365 days, a lot can happen in a year. So looking forward to the coverage here in conservative media as it's 8:45. Let's go to President Trump from just yesterday.
I directed the reinstatement of all patriots expelled from our military by the Biden vaccine mandate, returning them to their former rank with full back pay. And I signed executive orders to abolish critical race theory and transgender insanity from our schools and from our military. And I made it official policy of the United States that there are only two genders, male and female. And if it's okay with Iowa, we are keeping men out of women's sports. Is that okay? I also renamed the Gulf of Mexico. I renamed it to the Gulf of America.
And if you ever get a chance to go to the Gulf of America, obviously gorgeous sand and the waters are just beautiful. And there's a lot of really cool merchandise and gear out there for the Gulf of America, just hats and shirts and all that kind of stuff. Pretty cool stuff there. Looking live there at the White House. Beautiful red, white, and blue on this Independence Day. We'll be seeing the fireworks together with President Trump and the First Lady, Melania Trump. And we're looking forward to all of that coming up in possibly about 13 minutes or so, or as soon as it's dark enough there in Washington, D.C. I'm not sure if we have that other vantage point, that other camera that was pointed towards the Lincoln Memorial to get a little bit of a feel for how, if the sun's down yet. Almost. I believe it is at this point from that vantage point. So we'll be seeing the fireworks from a number of vantage points, of course, and big screens and all that. So hopefully you're watching on a big screen right now. If you're not, if you're watching on your phone or an iPad or a laptop, thanks so much for watching here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. If you'd like to follow us on Truth Social, it's at RSBN. Also on X, it's at RSB Network. More than 1 million followers on X, more than, I believe, now 3 million on Truth Social. So great to see the numbers increasing as we just continue to say, hey, you know what, here we are, and we're going to report common sense news to you and just share with you the live events that happen. And you've grown accustomed to hearing from we the people on this network. I mean, this is something that is extremely important, the everyday American, right? So I'm an everyday American. You're an everyday American, and we want to be able to just talk about what's going on out there in that common sense, tell it like it is way, because we've seen what it's like when you have a political person that is in the presidency and they're just there for nothing really good for our country. And then the same thing with the mainstream media. What are they doing? What really is their job? They are some of the biggest fakers and actors on earth. They're really good at it, though. I mean, let's be honest. They're really good at something. They're good at faking. Good evening. Welcome to this broadcast tonight. President Trump, a lot of people saying this against him. Nope. Not buying it anymore, guys. Sorry. See ya. Sayonara. Peace. Conservative media, of course, a lot of people watching it now. And again, if I've worked alongside plenty of people, whether on the right side of history, left side of history, or upside down side of history when it comes to media. And I'll still smile, and I might fist bump somebody or give somebody a handshake, and you got to be cool and professional. I get it. But the content and the words that they speak, the amount of power that the media really still does have in general, even conservative media and mainstream media, and all of how we consume what's going on out there. There's X, there's True Social, there's ways to look at different articles and stories. But who do you trust is the big question. Who do you really trust? And I think that's where the answer comes in. The solution is conservative media. We're not here at Right Side reading from a teleprompter. I'm not reading from a prompter right now, and I know I brought that up earlier, but the point is, this is just me, right? Same thing with Robert McNeely, Christina Loren. When we're on, we're talking about common sense policies and our love for God or family or country. And everybody goes through their journeys and their careers and all that. I've got my journey and all that, just like anybody else does. But I just love telling it like it is. Let's go to mypillow.com as well, as we're waiting for President Trump and the First Lady there. So mypillow.com/RSBN, you see Mike Lindell right there. Free shipping sale, always good to have free shipping, and always good to use that RSBN promo code. There's more than 2,000 products on that website. Anything from my coffee to my slippers to the Giza Dream Sheets to the topper, the mattress topper, the My Cross, the bed sheets there, the multi-use My Pillow. There's a Go Anywhere pillow as well. There's just a lot of choices on mypillow.com. So go ahead and go there if you'd like and purchase some goods and use that RSBN promo code that you can save some cash. And speaking of saving some cash, let's look at some of the big, beautiful bill right now, as this is from the White House earlier today, specifically from the White House Office of Communications. And then we'll get into high gear here for the wonderful fireworks we're about to see. So here's what this means for everyday Americans. According to the White House, they sent this to all of the media outlets out there, and I guarantee you probably 80% of them won't be reading off this kind of list. It is what it is. All right, so the largest tax cut in history for middle and working class Americans. According to the Joint Committee on Taxation, the tax bill will most benefit workers and families making less than $50,000 per year. Now, bigger paychecks, there will be a bring home of about $10,000 plus more in annual take-home pay for families. There's no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, a $12.5 billion modernization of our air traffic control system, permanently increasing the child tax credit for more than 40 million families, permanently securing our borders by finishing the border wall and hiring thousands of new ICE officers and Border Patrol agents. Part of the big, beautiful law is driving down energy costs with a massive expansion of domestic oil and gas production capacity. Also, a tax deduction on Made in America auto loan interest. I will clarify something. I am reading from a screen behind the camera right now on this list here. So that when I'm doing commentary, usually it's just riffing. You know how President Trump uses the teleprompter sometimes for various parts of the speech, but then most of the time he just rolls with it, right? I would say most of the time we roll with it here at the network, but when it comes to a list like this, I'd rather read it from up there than down here on the laptop. I know it's inside baseball, but it is what it is. Just want to be transparent. Protection for 2 million family farms from punitive double taxation. Also within the big, beautiful law, creating Trump investment accounts for every American newborn, restoring fiscal sanity by cutting $1.5 trillion in spending. Also, strengthening Medicaid by eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse and blocking illegal immigrants from receiving Medicaid. Funding the Golden Dome missile defense system to confront 21st century threats, and modernizing our military to ensure that it has the resources to be a ready, lethal fighting force after 4 years of Biden-era weakness. Those are some of the details from the big, beautiful law that President Trump signed into law just earlier this evening. Speaking of this evening, we're about 6 minutes away from the start of the fireworks display. Will it start right at 9 Eastern, 6 o'clock on the West Coast? I have no idea. I'm not there in D.C. I'm not watching them push the button for the fireworks, but I do know this. you're at the right place. And thanks so much for watching here live right now as we get ready to go there to Washington, D.C. to check out the fireworks. That is the scene right there. Obviously not dark enough yet for the fireworks, so they'll be waiting. That's the top right corner live picture. At the bottom of the screen, a lot of people there. So at the bottom of the right top corner screen, right there. So there's a lot of people there in front of the Lincoln Memorial. And then, of course, that's along the National Mall there. So we're waiting for it to get darker, of course. And then the bottom right screen is where President Trump and the First Lady will stand and watch these fireworks. And I hope that there will be a lot of great United States of America style music, patriotic music that we'll have a live feed to and just listen in and enjoy together. And I want us to remember something while we're watching this. I want us to remember every Trump rally. I want us to remember every speech. I want us to remember all of the USA chants that we would hear at arenas and stadiums and, you know, yesterday in Iowa, and just all of that passion for the United States of America. And the reason why I believe this country loves President Trump so much is because he stands for we the people, he stands for freedom, and he stands for America First policies. And he's somebody that is, I mean, come on, when's the last time somebody like a President Trump came around? I mean, this is historic times. And not only all of the serious, you know, policy information, the guy is funny, the guy is entertaining, and super successful. He was already successful before he became president. A lot of times guys are like, I want to run for president because I failed in everything else. Not President Trump. We again, winners. Let's have winners. Anyway, the bar has been set. We know that with President Trump. All right, let's do this. While we're waiting, let's talk about the following. If you'd like to donate to Right Side Broadcasting Network, all you have to do is text RSBN to the number you see on the screen there, 855-575-7888, or rsbnetwork.com/donate. The reason why is simple. We're not owned by any corporate big, you know, wigs out there, especially the woke types out there. We are running here with great viewers like you that will donate to conservative media like Right Side Broadcasting Network, and we have great sponsors, but we're looking to expand. We're looking to do bigger and greater things, even as we continue on with that momentum. So you can actually put your dollars to help that out if you'd like. rsbnetwork.com/donate or text RSBN to the number you see on your screen. Let's also go to Colonial Metals Group, freegoldguide.com/RSBN. If you'd like a free info kit in the mail, all you have to do is go to freegoldguide.com/RSBN. You're talking about a tax-sheltered IRA, 401k, backed in gold, all 100% tax-free. You can use that QR code as well. Retirement and savings, using some of that money and putting that into gold and silver, definitely a great option with Colonial Metals Group. All right, so it's 8:57 on the East Coast, Friday, July 4th. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Really looking forward to hearing hopefully some great music there as we watch this whole experience there. Why don't we take a bigger look at the vantage point there as the sun is going down there and it's getting darker, and watching this as we the people. We love the United States of America, don't we? We love our freedoms. We love 1776. We love the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. We love all the amendments because it's freedom, and that's what we want in America. We don't want the bogus junk news that is trying to tear our country down. We don't want politicians that lie to us and harm our country. We want the guy that you're about to see on that top left corner of the screen. You know, we want people like that in government, not the swamp. We want President Trump. We want people like him. And that's why he's got a great cabinet of patriotic people. What a beautiful live picture down there on the bottom left as well. We the people, just enjoying America. What a day. What a night. Glad you're with us. I'm Matthew Alvarez. Thanks again for joining us live. We're about 2 minutes away from the 9 o'clock hour. As soon as we hear any music or any announcement, something like, ladies and gentlemen, and now the President of the United States, you know, that kind of thing, man, we're going there live. Kind of wish I was there right now in Washington. I haven't seen the new American flags that are outside the White House. It'd be kind of cool to see that. And just this patriotic night. And on my Truth Social, I posted a number of country songs, a Toby Keith song, the late, great Toby Keith, the Made in America song, I remember the courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. So many great songs. Obviously, Lee Greenwood with God Bless the USA. And then all of the old school patriotic USA type of songs. I mean, the Marine Band played earlier outside the White House there, the Big Beautiful Bill. So we're looking forward to all of that here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, as we're just 1 minute away from this great event right now. So it's going to be a nice night. And it's awesome that it's blue skies too, and the sun's going down. Great to see the Washington Monument there, the White House, the Lincoln Memorial, and then just to the left of that Lincoln Memorial, never want to forget one of the greatest presidents of all time, of course, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and President Trump. So it's kind of cool that we have three of them right there. I just wish we saw Thomas Jefferson's memorial, because those are my four favorite. GW, the leader, the number one president, and then of course Thomas Jefferson, the third president, Abraham Lincoln, and then of course President Donald Trump. We the people, a government of, by, and for the people. That's what it's all about. I remember going to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I used to live somewhat close to that area, and went to the Gettysburg Memorial there in Gettysburg National Park, and where President Lincoln spoke the Gettysburg Address. And towards the end of that address, as he's speaking to the Union Army and others there, and towards the end said that a government of the people and by the people and for the people shall not perish from the land, shall not go away. This government, we the people, we're looking forward to a lot of wins coming up in this remainder of this year, 2026, 2027, 2028, and then in 2028, talk about rallies. Man, President Trump's going to be out rallying, I'm sure, for whoever he endorses to be the 48th president of the United States. Many names go through my mind, I'm sure with you too. I'm not here to endorse anybody. I know who I like. I like a number of people. We're not going to get through that now. We're just enjoying this live coverage and really looking forward to watching it with you guys. And again, let's just remember what it's like, those rallies, all those moments with President Trump since the golden escalator when he came down that, and back in the day, 10 years ago, in 2015 at Trump Tower. And everybody was like, oh, there's no way that guy could win. All the mainstream media people acting like it was a joke. Well, guess what? Joke's on you guys. Look who won all three elections for the past three elections, except for the situation, of course, that happened in 2020. But I'm not trying to be divisive either. I really would like to see as many Democrats decide, hey, you know what? Nah, I'm not into that extreme stuff. No more of this woke and you go broke stuff. No more of this anti-free speech, anti-God, anti-Constitution, anti the majority of the country. What's interesting? I think about the free world, and I think about people all over the world, like China, right? There are people there that would love to speak out, and they probably would be like America if we had an American type of leadership there, where it's just simply a Chinese leader that loved freedom. And they would want to fight for freedom too, just like we do. I mean, we got the glimpse. We got the peek behind the curtain and be like, oh wow, this is what freedom's like? Holy smokes, we got 249 years of this stuff? No wonder the people of El Salvador are loving Nayib Bukele. Viktor Orban in Hungary. No wonder the people are saying, oh my God, we need to have freedom. The Polish leader that just won, a conservative leader there, President Trump, a supporter of him. It's time for the land of the free and the home of the brave. And of all times, right now will be a perfect time to start a USA patriotic song and take it away there in Washington. So glad you guys are with us right now. And I know you're watching from all over the country. We've asked that question before on Rumble and other sites. And we're like, where are you guys watching from? And it's all across the United States. Isn't it awesome? Those of you watching in Arizona right now, in Texas, in New York, in Pennsylvania, in Maine, right? Idaho, Iowa. I'm sure a lot of people watching in Iowa just from yesterday, that great speech in Des Moines. How about those of you in Florida or Georgia or right here in Alabama? This is a family thing. This is called faith, family, freedom, all of those things. You're not going to hear it on the mainstream media, and who cares anymore? Their ratings are going down. The conservative media ratings are going up. And I'm not just talking about right side. Our ratings, man, we're getting a lot of people watching. I mean, there was 500,000 just on the broadcast that was just a couple hours ago on just one site. That was just one site. And that number is probably going to be in the million. But the point is this. It's because you guys, and if I were in your shoes and I wasn't, in conservative media or have had years experience on TV or whatever, and I worked in sales or I worked in something else, I'd be wanting to watch a network like Right Side and other conservative media to give me just truth, give me common sense, give me something that's real. Can we have somebody that believes in God, believes in family, believes in country, believes in freedom? Can we just have somebody? And that's what's great about this network. And that's what's great about conservative media as a whole. And those that are not in a network, those that have their own shows and influencers. I think it's time, to be honest with you, that though, yes, in business there's competition, we get it. But let's just give each other a little bit of a pats on the back a little bit and say, hey, great job with that story. And even if it's with someone else that works somewhere else. I know that's not the greatest competitive business model, but holy smokes, our country needs to be saved. So we need to be on the right side of history and together, bond together here and be supportive of each other. And that includes every real deal MAGA Republican in Congress and in the Senate. We should all be working with each other to just take this freedom to the next level in the sense of prayer, hard work, getting out the vote. It's beautiful stuff there. Isn't that a beautiful scene there in Washington, D.C. right now? The sun already down. Of course, it is now dusk in Washington on this Friday, July 4th, 249th Independence Day. It's great stuff. It is just great. And so, and again, this isn't just political news reporting or just doing this for our health and being like, oh yeah, USA, and that's it. This literally is for all of our families, all of our friends, all of our country. All right, let's go to Washington right now. What a grand finale that was there in Washington, D.C. Some great musical tracks as well, as you heard some from Lee Greenwood, the late Toby Keith, and others on there. The next time we watch a firework display on July 4th, our country will reach that 250-year milestone. Of course, July 4th, 2026. A lot of time from now until then, but what a night it was. A great night in our nation's capital as we witnessed the pool camera work there in Washington, D.C. All of this broadcast brought to you by a number of great sponsors, including All Family Pharmacy. So we'd like to thank All Family Pharmacy for this live report from Washington. Of course, also Colonial Metals Group. All you have to do is go to freegoldguide.com/RSBN for more information on gold and silver and precious metals. Also, Kalshi.com/RSBN. You can bet and trade on pretty much anything. Just go to Kalshi.com/RSBN. Also, AngelPaste.com. You can use the RSBN promo code. That'll get you a percentage off. This based in Spring, Texas. They hire military veterans, a great sponsor here at Right Side. Also, Chef IQ Sense. This is a great company as well. When it comes to figuring out if you want to cook a lot better in a better, efficient way, this is the place to do it right there, Chef IQ Sense. Also, mypillow.com/RSBN. Of course, more than 2,000 products that you could pick from there as well. Also, if you'd like to donate to Right Side, all you have to do is go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. And if you missed any of the information there on all of our great sponsors here at Right Side, you can just hit pause and just scrub back a bit and check it out, and hopefully make some purchases from some of these products if you can afford it. And especially with the big, beautiful law now in place, taxes dropping, things happening in a great way for our country, as you see the red, white, and blue right there. The first time that the White House has had that red, white, and blue with the American flag that's right in front of it right now. It's just awesome to see President Trump and the First Lady tonight. Thank you guys so much for streaming in, especially the big, beautiful bill signing ceremony, now the big, beautiful law. And for those of you that are watching throughout our great country, and for those of you that are watching from other countries, thank you so much for doing so. For all of us here at Right Side Broadcasting Network, I'm Matthew Alvarez. Have a great night, a great weekend. We'll have coverage on Monday when the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will be visiting that White House. Again, for all of us here at Right Side, I'm Matthew Alvarez. Have a great night. We'll see you later.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
To celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7, I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, All sizes only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.